Hey Metal Maniacs, this is Gabe from Raider, and you're thrashing it up on Dave Softee's Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio.
The Alrighty, Metal Maniacs, here we go. Please help me welcome to Metal Messiah Radio, hailing from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, from Thrash Death Metalers Raider. Joining us, we have vocalist Angelo Bonaccorso and lead guitarist Gabe Rosa.
What's going on?
Welcome to the Metal Meltdown, guys. I thank you for this opportunity. I'm glad that you could be here.
Thanks for having us on, Dave. Thanks for having us on.
My pleasure. I got to tell you, my associate, Brother Joker, he actually told me about your band because he got the promo files from John Asher Publishing. And he goes, you got to check out this music and go for an interview with them. I think is right up your alley. And so I heard the video. I saw the video, actually. And I said, oh, yeah. So I had contacted John Asher. I actually was on the mailing list, and then for some reason, I guess between my work situation, maybe I unsubscribed. So it all worked out that he actually sent me the music, so I actually hear how great this music is. So I'm really, really happy to be here with you and to talk about your brand new offering. And if you can, could you please inform the listeners on who makes up the rest of your band Raider?
Yeah, so I'm Angelo. I'm the vocalist. Gabe, like you said, is the lead guitarist. And then we also have Kevin Withers on drums. Brandon Sanders is our bassist. And our newest addition to the band is Ira Lehtovaara, and he's going to be our new guitarist as well.
Very nice. And let's learn all we can about your killer band. I noticed on the Metal Archives that the band formed, relatively young band, 2017, and it says that you had a demo, maybe it was an EP in 2018, Urge to Kill, and
Yep.
Very cool. And who selected the band's name as Raider? How did you come up with that name?
So it was just we needed a name. We got together. We before 2017, leading up to 2017, and we started jamming, and then we needed a name, right? So it basically out of a list of names, we look up if they exist, and Raider didn't really, there wasn't really a metal band around here or any band really around here that had that name, and I thought it was pretty cool, and it just kind of worked that way, and we started using it.
Yeah, awesome. When I was looking for Raider on the Skype to be able to do the interview with you, I was surprised at how many other Raider medals there are as far as contact information. And I would send messages to all of them. Are you the kick-ass band Raider? None of them got back to me. It was really funny.
Yeah, there's a few bands called Raider, like in Europe and stuff like that. But I didn't find anyone in Canada here, for example. You know what I mean? Like regionally.
Right. And as I mentioned just before, I checked out your band's debut full offering, the Kick-Ass Guardian of the Fire. And this is due out on March 20th. I noticed that's a big day for releases. I don't know. I guess that's the beginning of spring, and so many new offerings are coming out. And I got to say, I listened to the entire offering. There's not one track on the album that I don't love. It's just amazing. Usually there's something like, okay, whatever, but no, I'm really loving this offering and the sound of your band. And I may have mentioned to you on Facebook, I don't know if you've ever heard of Divine Chaos from the UK, but they also have new music coming out in the beginning of April 1st actually. And I just got with Matt Gilmore, the guitarist of the band, and I've been a fan of theirs since 2014. And your band has a very similar kick-ass sound as they do, so I think that's outstanding. I mean, I love that band, and now I have another band that I love just as much, and a brand new band to me. And but this offering though, is it being self-released, or do you have support of a label? Because this is really outstanding stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, like you said before, we are relatively a new band, and yeah, it's being this new album, Guardian of the Fire, is going to be released independently. But who knows in the future, right? Like, we're definitely looking towards that, right? We definitely would want to be on a big label, for example, if it made sense and whatever, but we're just not, we're just about to get into the realm of thinking about that kind of stuff, right?
Right. But I wish you the best, whatever happens in the future with your band Raider. Hopefully you find a label that works well for you.
Yeah, that would be sweet, man. Yeah, for sure.
But it looks like you got everything in place. You're geared for success, I would have to say.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. We're definitely working pretty hard to, be as professional as we can, and being this young of a band, we're definitely trying to put our best foot forward at all times and get somewhere basically with this band.
Let's hope that happens. And let's learn more about your actual songs, the tunes, and how they all come together. Could you tell us what the process was like as far as who's responsible for writing the music and the lyrics? Is this a joint venture within the band, or is there somebody in the band that's great with words and one that's great in melodies, or how does it all come together for you?
So typically it starts out with, Gabe will have some riffs and some ideas, and him and Kevin and Brandon will jam together and experiment and try and kind of flesh out the skeleton of a song, and they'll kind of get that first element together. Then once they've kind of refined it, and Gabe's worked on the song structure and really kind of refined it into something that's that we think could be a full song, then he'll give that to me, and I'll start coming in with vocal patterns, and then from there I'll take over and start writing the lyrics for the music. This album, it was kind of that same pattern for the songs, right? We would demo them out, and then I would take those demos and then start working on vocal patterns in the lyrics. So that's kind of how we divide up the duties.
That's cool. Now, how long did it take for you actually to have all the music ready and the songs ready to record Guardian of the Fire? Did that process take a long time?
So, near like when we were recording, for example, Urge to Kill in 2018, late 2017 into 2018, there we already had a bunch of other songs too that we were working on, right? And it was just a matter of we wanted to get something out immediately there, and then work on refining like a full album, like like we did here, basically, and take more time on it. And that's kind of the time span there, from 2018 till 2019, till the mid 2019 to the end when we recorded it there. So that's kind of like the timeline there. It was a couple of years.
I see. Oh, that's cool though. And who produced Guardian of the Fire, and where was this mixed, mastered, and recorded? What studio was this done in?
So we recorded Guardian with our good friend Alex Snape here from local here. He records out of his home studio, Nomadic Arts.
That's where we recorded it. And Alex was the one who did the recording and the mixing. Once we had that done, and we worked exclusively with him and Nomadic Art Studios, so once we had that done, we sent it off to Jamie King to have it mastered. And you're probably familiar with some of his work. He's done a lot of work for bands like Between the Buried and Me, for example.
He's done every Between the Buried and Me song or album, and he's done a lot of other cool stuff. He's definitely very proficient at what he does, and we're it was awesome to have been able to have him a part of this record.
The end result is an amazing sound. I really love this. This is up my alley.
Yeah, we're really happy with it.
Yeah, and the art also, the CD artwork, it's really outstanding as well. Could you tell us more information about who designed the CD art for Guardian of the Fire, and also who actually designed your band's logo?
So let's start with the logo. So the logo was done by an artist named Chris Horst. He has his own thing where he does various types of art, but particularly he has a specialty in doing band logos. And again, he took the name and a bit of vision from us and was able to create that logo. The album artwork was done by Mario Lopez.
He's very well known. Yep.
Yeah, you've heard of him before, so Mario.
Yeah. A lot of interviews I do. I used to talk about Mario Lopez. I remember when I was, growing up, there was Saved by the Bell, and there was an actor called Mario Lopez. So yeah. I always brought that up for the interviews, but that's so dated right now every time I said that. But I think 5 interviews this season, people brought up the name Mario Lopez. I was, I'm very familiar with the name. So yeah, outstanding that you could get with him to do your artwork. That's great.
He's a wicked artist. He was a referral to us, and we immediately after reviewing his portfolio knew that he was going to be the one to be able to execute the vision. And so with a lot of communication, like he requested a document with a lot of description and references, and it was a very cool process to watch him kind of flesh out the artwork, and it's super reflective, I think, of the sound, and we're really happy with it.
And I like the color scheme that goes with it, like a bronzy or a goldish color.
Yeah, he did it all with acrylics.
Yeah, he's all by hand. It's crazy.
Wow.
Some people think it's digital. Some people think it's digital art, but no, it's all his work is done by hand.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Excellent news. Excellent stuff there. And it's also great to know that Raider is a live performing band. I noticed that you have your CD release party on the 21st of March in Waterloo. And I know you noticed also, I believe you have some past performances. Would you like to share with us some of your highlights or most memorable performances of the past? And also, we could talk about your CD release party, as well as what other shows that you may have coming up that you'd like to spread the word on, and who you'll be, if you have a tour, who you'll be touring with.
Yeah, so we've been, since basically we started like in 2017, we've been trying to play as many shows as we can that made sense, and without playing the same places over and over again. So we've played festivals in Waterloo here, like Kitchener Metal Fest a couple times, and Five Magics Fest. And we've played a couple really cool shows actually here at the Boathouse, for example. We had in 2018 we had an album release party together with Invicta, which is also in the realm of thrash thrash death, and they're from here as well, are good friends of ours. And we had a really cool, memorable CD release party in 2018, and basically looking to up that, on this one, on the new one here. And so far, it's looking good on paper. People seem to be interested in coming out, and it should be a good night, looks like.
Excellent. Now, I've gotten with quite a few bands from Canada, Rectify, Infrared, Hellraiser, and they all
love Infrared. Love those guys, man.
Yeah, really. I got with them for a couple interviews actually. Really nice guys, and they were telling me, each of these bands, how tough it is for them to get to the United States because of whatever reason. But have you had the same experience where you want to do shows here in America, just across the border, and you have difficulties doing that, or do you plan on doing something like that?
Well, it's not that it's difficult. It's just there's a process involved, right? And we have to kind of be ready, in every aspect financially and with the release, and everything needs to be lined up in order to execute that process. So it's definitely on the roadmap. It's just something that we haven't had a chance to do yet because we've been really focused on laying a solid foundation first.
I see. Yeah, I saw actually one of my favorite bands from Canada is, I guess you call it Melodic Death. The one time they were called Metalcore. The Threat Signal from, I think they're also from Ontario.
Yeah, they're actually,
really a big fan of them for years. Love that band. I actually got to see them.
Say that.
Yeah, I got to see
the bassist in that band is actually, he just lives like down the street here.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
On the live performances, he does all the background vocals, but on record, it's all John Howard. I found that out from the interview. But I got to see them live at the Paramount Theater in Huntington. If you ever get a chance to play live here and not in the city, because I'm on the island, I recommend the Paramount very highly. You could fit between, I guess, 12 to 1,500 people. The place is immaculate. I've seen Overkill, Testament, Death Angel, Anthrax, Threat Signal. great amount of bands there that are pretty well known. So that's a place, if you ever get a chance to come to Long Island, that's a place you want to go to. A lot of the other places, all the little clubs, it's like not such a great scene, but Paramount in Huntington is really a great place. I would compare it to like the Gramercy Theater in New York City.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, so I recommend that. Do you have any other shows besides the Waterloo show that you'd like to talk about? Anything in the works for you?
Currently, we don't have anything else announced or booked or anything like that I can tell you, but we're definitely working on, we definitely want to promote this album as much as we can, and with that, playing as many shows as we can. We definitely have some stuff in the pipeline that, again, it's not ready to be kind of announced or anything like that, but yeah, definitely planning on playing a bunch of shows this year.
I got you. Well, all I could say is keep in touch, and when you have news about that, send me a message or tag me, and I'll be more than happy to spread the word with you.
Awesome.
I appreciate that, dude.
That's what we do. That's what we do. And I want to mention your YouTube channel. I was looking for your video on Raider on YouTube, and I saw the official video for Bound by No Fate, and I quickly fell in love with the sound of the song. Unbelievable stuff, like I said. And I would like to know more about the making of this video, as far as editing and directing of the video, or if it was a do-it-yourself video, or whatever information you could tell us about the video, and what other videos, or whether they be music videos or lyric videos, are in the plans for Guardians of the Fire, in addition to Bound by No Fate.
So the video for Bound by No Fate, it came about. It was very organic, actually. So the videographer and the creator who directed it and who shot the thing is Michael Krusty. He's from Toronto. He's an awesome creator who's done music videos for a lot of bands, and he shoots a lot of live shows as well. He came out and shot it here just outside of Waterloo in a small area called Floridale at the Forge. So the Forge where we shot it at is actually called Thack Ironworks, and it's owned by our friend Rob, who also goes by Thack. He actually saw us play a show in Toronto. He saw us open up for Ex Mortis and Venom Inc. in Toronto.
Nice.
And reached out to us on Instagram, and he let us know that he wanted to collaborate potentially here. So we went out to the Forge, we met Rob, and we had an awesome time just hanging out, listening to tunes and chatting, and we ended up doing a bunch of band photos there, and then it just kind of organically became the shoot for the music video. It became the location.
Very nice.
And so we got actually a bunch of our friends together to star in the music video. We wanted to kind of bring them in and show some fresh faces, and also just have them as a part of this too, just because they're our friends and we wanted them to participate. And I couldn't have thought of, or couldn't think of anyone better to star in the music video and to be our representation there on YouTube. So they really brought their A game and A performance to it, and it was an awesome time just shooting the thing.
It went very smoothly.
Yeah, it was a very smooth process and a very organic process, and everyone had a good time just hanging out at the Forge and shooting this thing and performing and fooling around, and there was blood and swords, and it was sweet.
Sounds like fun. And what other videos, if we can talk about it, can we mention about what will be accompanying future videos for Guardian of the Fire? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, by the time this comes out, our second music, or it's going to be a lyric video that's going to be coming out here. It's the title track, Guardian of the Fire, and it really just, it was ideal to have that as the second video coming out to really solidify what the album's going to be about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that should be out by the time this comes out, and hopefully people can check it out on Circle Pit. It's going to be premiering on Circle Pit, so.
Okay, very nice. Thanks for the info. And one of the most important things about doing these interviews, what I want to inform the fans, especially since you are a very young band and you really have a lot going on for you, I want to give the listeners out there that are loving Raider, loving the sound of your band, I want to give them links of merch that they could get, as far as the CD and whatever other merch you may have, and so that they could support the band by getting merch. So I'm going to give you a Bandcamp page, of course. That's raiderofficial.bandcamp.com/merch. And also your Facebook. I noticed on facebook.com/Raider Metal, there's a shop tab there. When you click on that, it takes you right to the Bandcamp page. So I noticed you have pretty much a nice selection of merch, but I would like you to tell the listeners out there what you currently have available for them.
Yeah, so for this release, we're going to have the CD, which will be pressed, and we'll also have wall flags and T-shirts with the album art, the amazing album art by Mario Lopez on the front of it. So those three items are available on Bandcamp, and that's going to be the best spot for anyone who's international to grab any of our merch. But ideally, right, you can grab it from us at shows if you come out and see us live.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be the first best spot to grab it.
Absolutely. So, if you could go to see a Raider live, then that's where you can get the merch. But if you can't, then do it online and go to the Bandcamp page.
Yeah, we do have pre-orders up right now for the shirts, flags, and CDs, and we also have some patches there, red and white, and we have some bundles there together for the pre-orders if people want to support us, leading up to the release here, and we'll be shipping them very shortly after the release date there.
Very nice. And I'm curious to know what everyone in the band does beyond the band as far as a regular job. Because I know in the underground, everybody really isn't making a living being a musician. Even if they've been around for a very long time, it's very difficult to do that. And so everyone has like a real job. So what do you guys do when you're not doing Raider?
So we're kind of we got quite a mix actually in our band. Like really ranges. So myself, I work at a software company. I work in tech here in Waterloo. And Gabe, he works at a restaurant actually here in Waterloo as well.
I work at a restaurant, and the same owners own a music venue here, so I kind of flip-flop between those two. And then Brandon, what is Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon works at a steel factory here in Waterloo as well, a metalworking factory, which is pretty metal actually.
Sure is.
Our drummer Kevin, he's an electrician. He's been doing electrical work for a long time here, and that's kind of his where he gets his living off of basically there.
And then Ira he works at a power plant actually. So a lot of metal and power and electricity and stuff like that.
All great jobs though, really. LC, our owner of Metal Messiah Radio, he's a great graphics designer, but he at one time was an electrician, but he was, I would say, underworked. So he's really working hard with the graphics beyond what he does for Metal Messiah Radio and all our DJs and all the graphic works for the banners and the station. He's also does this for his livelihood, and they keep him very busy, he tells me. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. He's really metal stuff too, let me tell you. And
nice.
Well, you like to talk about gear, your guitars, what Brandon plays for a bass, what the drums. You want to talk about anything to do with gear?
I mean, yeah, we can talk about some guitar stuff. I mean, I like Jacksons. I have a couple Jacksons that I roll with. I have a King V, and then I have a Dinky, and then I play that through a Carvin amp, 100 XB. And I have a pedal board. I'm very simple with my gear as well. Like I don't put any extra stuff that's gonna, that I don't basically don't know how to work. I keep it simple, right? Basically, I just have an overdrive pedal, a delay pedal, a chorus pedal, maybe for the lead stuff there, and then the decimator I use for noise suppression, and that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, Brandon actually plays a Fender Jazzmaster, and
he's got a P bass as well.
Yeah, but he's got a really cool setup, and the tone really clanks through in the mix, and we really like that. That's a big thing too. Is being able to hear the bass in a metal band is important. Sure. We think, and so Brandon really brings that to the table.
That's very true, very important. And how about the drums? Your drummer plays what kind of drums?
He's a Tama kit.
I was guessing that.
I think it's a Tama kit, yeah.
It's a Tama kit. He's got this nice burgundy Tama kit and vinyl cymbals, and what else has he got?
He's been rolling with two hi-hats, just kind of, have that option there to have open hand or, traditional style there, just to kind of switch it up. It's very common these days, right? Everybody's doing that kind of stuff.
I think he's rocking Iron Cobras for his kicks too.
Yeah, he's got Iron Cobras. Whatever gets the job done, basically, right?
I hear that, and I wish for the band down the road, when you become maybe more well known by these makers of the metal instruments, that you can get a nice endorsement deal for yourself.
I would love to have, I would love Jackson and on my side on that thing. That would be so sweet.
I could definitely see that happening, so I wish you the best of luck with that.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah. And are there any bands out there that you're associated with outside of Raider? Are there any other bands that you may be working with as like another band that you would like to mention?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like here in Waterloo, we have a lot of talent coming out of here. Invicta, for example, like I mentioned before, they're our brothers, from here, and we're all in the same kind of boat there, man. We all want to do it. We all want to make music. We all want to get out there and get somewhere with this kind of with this stuff, right? With metal. And then we have our other our younger boys there, Cathartic Demise. They play a more progressive kind of style of thrash there, where they utilize a bunch of different kind of influences there, right? And it's really unique, and a lot of talent in that band, and for such a young band as well, like younger than us, right? Like their age ranges from like 19 to 23, I think. You know what I mean? They're pretty young dude. But they're shredding, man. They're shredding.
Definitely some band cess between the three of us over the past couple of years, just, helping each other get afloat and keeping each other going live. Like Gabe played bass in Invicta. He filled in a little bit there. We also had Kyle from Invicta. He played in our band briefly to fill in.
He's filled in for bass and guitar on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and then Bennett from Cathartic Demise, he also filled in for a long time on guitar for us. For a lot of live shows
for the last year and a half or so.
At least the last year and a half.
Before we had Ira come in here.
That's great when you could have the teamwork within the bands to help each other out like that when you need them. That's really great.
Yeah, it's really great.
It's a really good ecosystem here for sure. And we all three rehearse at the same hall as well, so it's just all work.
We're all buddies, we hang out on a daily, basically.
That's cool. And what is the average age of your band? Because I would imagine you're pretty young guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm 24. I'm turning 25 soon.
You're the youngest now.
Yeah, and then.
I'll be turning 27 in a couple weeks here, and then.
I think Brandon's 33 or.
Yeah. No, Kevin's 32 and Brandon's 33, turning 34.
Yeah,
so we range from like 20. We were like a decade span band, basically.
Close to
something close to that.
Very cool. And I want to thank you guys for spending time with us tonight on Metal Meltdown on Metal Messiah Radio. I do believe we learned quite a bit about Raider, and I believe in your band so much. I just want to let you know and put this out there that when you have future releases, you you'll have a home here on Metal Messiah Radio to talk about it.
Thanks, man. That means a lot.
Yeah, man. Respect. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And if I'm physically not here to do it, I'm sure. Like I said, Joker would probably love the chance to interview the band, but I would love to have you back on the show for every release you have out there, so just keep that in mind. And I would like to know if you would like to say anything to the Raider fans out there. Like we know you're a relatively, to me, you're a new band, and we want to get the word out there so much about Raider so that we have more of a fan base. I've already invited a ton of friends to like the page, the Raider Facebook page.
I appreciate that, dude.
That's what we do. So by
awesome.
By playing your music and giving the links in the chat room, of course we ask the listeners, please, if you like what you're hearing, like the page and tell the band what you think of their music. That's what it's all about.
Thank you, man.
One of the things, anyway. So, but is there anything that you'd like to say to your fans out there?
We just want to say thanks so far for all the overwhelming support. I mean, like it's really been such a pleasant surprise to have so much support from all over the world so far, and we can't believe it.
John's doing a really great job pushing our stuff too.
Excellent. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, it's really getting out there. We have, like the album comes out on March 20th, and like I said before, there should be a video out by the time this comes out for our title track lyric video. And
we do plan on coming, playing everywhere that we can. So, just go give the page a like to keep updated on where we're going to be playing, and hopefully soon it'll be somewhere near you guys.
Yeah, I would love to see you guys here on Long Island. That would be amazing.
We'd love to come down.
Yeah,
we'll try our best. We're working on it.
Excellent. And but before we go and crank up more music from Raider, I'd like to know, is there's anything else that you'd like to bring out there to the listeners that we have yet to discuss? Because you could talk about anything that you'd like to. If we want to give more information that I have not asked, feel free to talk about anything you like.
I think we pretty much covered everything. Honestly, you did a really great job, Dave. And we're really grateful that you had us on here. Just check out our release, Guardian of the Fire. It's going to be out March 20th. And keep an eye out for shows. Give our page a like. Check out our Bandcamp if you want to hear some new music. The album is available for pre-order right now there online. And again, it'll be out on March 20th.
Excellent. A question that I just popped in my head that I did not ask. Will this be available on vinyl at any particular time?
Depends, right? Depends. Like it's very expensive to print on vinyl. But it just depends on if there's demand for it. If people want it, we'll do it. If it makes sense, we'll do it. You know, just like anything else, if there's demand for it, we'll just have to see what happens in the future here. But it's definitely a possibility.
I'm sure that a lot of people would love that. I'm sure that Mario would love that too, to see his art really big on a nice big vinyl cover. So it would be sweet. But again, right, we got to see if the demand's there.
Yeah, I understand that. I could definitely see it on vinyl, like in a bronzy or a goldish colored vinyl to match the CD art. That would be perfect.
Yeah, it would look really cool.
Yeah, it's really pop. It would really stand out. So, yeah, I want to wish you and everyone in Raider a great CD release party. Have a lot of success with your new offering, and just remember, for all the years to come, you'll always have a home here on Metal Messiah Radio on the Metal Meltdown. I just wish you the best. Keep in touch, and like I said, anything that we could help you with, whether you have tours coming up, a new video, or any news, just spread the word with us. Drop me a message or tag me, and like I said, we will be more than happy to share and spread the word of Raider.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate that, Dave.
A healthy cheers and a healthy horns up to everyone listening to Metal Messiah Radio. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for the interview, you guys. You did a great job.
Thanks.
Cheers.